Hi everyone, today's reading is a short reading, probably about 2 to 5 minutes, but with 5 different choices. It's basically on why you are so hubba hubba. So basically what is so attractive about you. You have got 5 choices. You've got the sea lion, the metallic rabbit, the white sitting down rabbit, the wolf thing, or the standing up rabbit. So we're going to start. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get started straight away. Over there, over there, over there. Okay, sea lion. Here goes. What is so hubba hubba about you? So what is so attractive about you? What do people see in you? What are your best points? What makes you so sexy? Okay, 2-minute reading. Turn that around. Okay, you are so intense, a combination of intense and nonchalant. But basically, you have an intensity about you. You have an attraction about you. When you're standing there, people will look at you. They'll all be drawn to you. But when they're talking to you, you're going to be one of those people who are very laid back and very sort of wishy-washy, possibly, but very sort of easy to talk to, easy to get on with. The feeling that everybody knows, this is an insult, but everybody knows someone like you. There's a familiarity, like you are just a member of their family. It's like just a connection that's easy to spark up with you. You are probably younger looking than you actually are, very youthful in the way that you put yourself across, very fair, very easygoing, and probably extremely attractive because this is the card ruled by Libra, but there's going to be an inner magnetic aura to you that people just sense. So you're a mixture of intense and magnetic, but laid back, cool, a little bit dreamy, and just that sort of childlike innocence and familiarity about you. A youthfulness as well. To number 1, that's you, Sandra. Away with you, little hippo. Okay, number 2, White Rabbit. Are you ready? What makes you so hubba hubba? Number 2s. Adjust these so that I can read them for myself. Okay, you are first thing that I got when I was turning the cards over, you are a hard worker. You're somebody who's fair, who works hard and has this sort of aura about them that everything is in control. There's sort of this attraction about you that whatever anybody gives you, you can deal with because you've seen it all before. And it's almost like an inner resilience. If something goes wrong, you know how to get your way around it. You're one of those people that have a really powerful, strong presence that you can take on the world, and you do it in a smooth and collected and calm manner. You're always aware of what's going on, and you know how far to take something before you decide that it's not serving you anymore. So in hubba hubba value, you are probably one of those people that have a commanding presence. Quite an intense presence, but also very fair with everybody else. You probably got that figure or that body that looks like you work out. You probably won't have that sort of timid look about you. You look strong, you look aware, you look as if you can take on anything. But there's also like a calmness about this, as if whatever's thrown at you, you can deal with, and that's what makes you sexy. boundaries, resilience, and strength. And probably a strong looking physical presence that is I had a friend once whose boyfriend said, "Cause you look like you've got the body." This is in a nice way that somebody could that you could fight with them, and I don't mean fight as in aggressively, but you could play fight with them. You look fun. You look as if you can take on a bit of sort of joking and kidding about, but you have that strength and that calmness about you. That is very attractive. Okay, number 2, there you go. Number 3 was the rabbit. That's made out of bombs dropped in Laos, I think. Okay, what's so hubba hubba about you? Hubba hubba. Just sort them out for myself. Oh my lord. Okay, what is so hubba hubba about you? What I'm getting from this is somebody who is very scorpionic. I might have made that word up. Basically, whatever physically, you will have a aura about you that is quite not overbearing, because that's quite a negative word, that has an impact. You're probably one of those people that like to wear, even if you don't wear them, this might be internal, because I have a sister who's been probably watching this who's very Scorpio, and she doesn't wear dark clothes, she doesn't look gothic, but inside that's what she enjoys. You will catch her watching gothic films, or basically attracted to gothic people, or that sort of image. So you quite like to give the impression that you're not phased, and you probably aren't phased by anything that life throws at you. So whatever happens, whatever's thrown at you, you will give the impression that that's fine, I can cope with it. You probably like to delve into people's deepest fears, deepest feelings, and like it when things finish and start. So this Tower card is ruled by Pluto and Mars, so you could physically be quite strong looking, big dark eyes, or just larger eyes that are quite like pulls at people, pull people in. So that's what's probably attractive about you: your presence, your eyes, and your figure. And that's what people will notice. But when they get to know you better, they will notice your strength and your ability to, whenever a situation falls to pieces, regardless of how it's done, whether your house is burnt down, whether there's been something tragic in your family or your work situation, you're the person that they feel that will pick everything back up. You're not phased. You may also look younger than your years, and that might be to do with your body. If you've got Mars in your chart, you're probably quite physically active. You probably might even like to travel, but that's what probably will look attractive about you. Your skin could be, if you're light coloured skin, it could be darker than usual. It just because something about the contrast of your eyes and your hair and your skin, regardless of what colour, there's something really attractive about that. You could have light eyes, dark skin, or just dark eyes and light skin. This is a very strong pile, so when you walk into a room, you're definitely going to catch people's attention. There's an intensity about you that is very hubba hubba. You actually were one of these people that like situations to fall apart because you don't like to be bored. And people will see that in you, and it's not in a sort of Uranus-y, Aquarius type of way that likes to kick things up so that it gets exciting. It's more in a case of throw at me what you can, because I can cope with it, and people will sense that. So that's what makes you so hubba hubba. Number 3. Okay. Wolf people, what makes you so hubba hubba? Oh, okay, confusing. Right, you are a combination. You are one of those people who are guessing pale-skinned, round-faced, red-haired, possibly red-haired or red tinge into your hair. That might be unusual for your family. You may be feisty, a go-getter, warm and open, and you're one of those people that others find attractive because you are fun and you are kind and you are open, but there's also an inner sensitivity to you that people can sense. You could be one of those people. You could be very creative, because these cards together are very creative. You are probably somebody who likes to get things done. You could be older, as in your 30s possibly or above, but there's also something that's quite creative but also maybe contradictory in some terms, that the way that you might be quite traditional as well. So you might actually have a strong bond with your mum or your dad or your grandparents, and you quite like bringing those traditions with you, because the moon is Cancer. The Hierophant as well is very traditional, so that might be something that comes across in your personality. So physically, I get the impression that you might have big hair, you might be larger, especially the top half of your body might be larger than the bottom half, but you will have clear skin, unless you're a teenager, and possibly paler than the rest of your family. You are probably very attractive because you've got the moon and the Libra card together, which can make you quite, if you're a girl, can make you quite feminine looking, almost as if everything's very symmetrical, but also your eyes could be larger. You could have that presence of being fiery, which people will find attractive because you're fiery and fun, but almost slightly vulnerable and beautiful as well. So that might be quite hard for people who see you to deal with, because at one half of them's thinking, oh fun, let's go play, and the other half's feeling as if they need to protect you. And especially if they've got traditional values in them as well, they will see that in you, and that's what makes you hubba hubba. You work hard, but you might also give off a slight tinge of being slightly anxious or fearful, which might actually mix in here with the moon card. So there's a vulnerability about you that makes you hubba hubba. A strength, magnetism, and outward energy that with a slight vulnerability and almost a slight conventional part of you that could make you almost it's like a double-edged sword. It's like outgoing, feisty, fun, creative, and almost feminine. If you're male or female, there's this like feminine gentleness about you, which is very like a traditional wife, and if you're a man, it still applies. It's almost like a traditional sort of being able to look after children, and a beauty about you which makes you attractive to other people. It's the combination of both, like the masculine and the feminine, that people will see in you. And also that vulnerability, there's a slight anxiety about you, but you're probably very hardworking, so you've got a sort of really balanced part about you, and that's what makes you attractive. Okay, there you go. Number 4. Beautiful. Okay. White rabbit standing out. What makes you so hubba hubba? Do that again. Only if I shuffle and I see a really nice card in the middle, and I know this is from doing your own cards, you want to keep shuffling so it pops out at the top, which is cheating, but I don't know what's going on under here, but I'm still shuffling. It depends what your favourite card is. Mine's the Sun, so I just saw that. Let's hope it pops out. I have no idea where it is. My X-ray vision. Only stems looking at people's underpants. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. sort these out in my head before I start shouting my mouth off. What makes you Hubba Hubba is basically your childlike enthusiasm, your fun, your feistiness, your excitement in living every moment. You're probably unpredictable, you're probably taller than average, you're probably very attractive in an unusual way. You could be have a long face, you could be red haired or a red colouring to your face, but the thing that is most attractive about you is the fact that you are pleasantly eccentric and nobody knows how to take you, and that is quite exciting. You're the type of person that gets up and does things and everybody else, oh, actually I hadn't thought of that, that's a really good idea. There is something very fiery about you, but you are also very open, very giving and very loving. When people get a little bit closer to you, they might enjoy the fact that you quite like a good scrap, that you like a verbal sort of back and forth, and that you are also incredibly hardworking. You have a lot of skills under your belt and you like to show people what you've got. You like to use them. You're the type of person that doesn't sit around, and you're the type of person that likes to have fun. But if people, the first thing that people are going to see when they are going to take in when they see you is, I would say, is you have a sort of magnetic electric aura about you. It's almost a sort of, you could be Aquarius, you could have Uranus very strong in your chart, but if you have, there's also a lot of fire in there too. So you're going to be somebody, you might actually find this, you might actually find your life quite difficult to handle because you've got a lot of internal energy that you might not be able to sit down and do the things that are slightly long-winded, but that's what people will find attractive about you, the fact that you are fun, that you're exciting, that you not give out in that way, but you give out your energy quite freely. You like to start new projects. You're the type of person that when you meet somebody, it will be you that says, let's do this, let's do that. And you'll do it in a way that's slightly different from everybody else, that's really attractive, very unique, very individual. And there's a warmth to you, there's like an openness, and you're quite happy to share. This is quite Uranus-y, which is not happy to share their feelings. They're quite reserved, but you be quite open, and even if you feel slightly anxious or fearful in a situation with somebody, they won't sense that. They will see you as open and generous and slightly unique. And they might enjoy a bit of verbal banter, or even just a bit of back and forth there, which probably adds to the collection of all these energies inside you. So to sum up, your ability to be so hubba hubba is your eccentricity, your uniqueness, your openness, your warmth, and your fieriness. So that's what people pick up when they first see you. Physically, you could be taller, as I've said. You could be strong-boned. You could have one of those figures that are quite muscular, that regardless of your size, you've got a really good shape about you. You could have like a big proper bottom or strong legs or something. So fiery people tend to have proper good shaped bodies. Not naturally slim. Aquarius can be quite slim and is normally taller than most, longer faces. But with these two here, you've probably got good, Aquarius as well. Same as I think it was one of the readings from 2 or 3 ago, tend to have a triangular body. They have strong shoulders, thinner waist, thinner hips. Also, fire signs tend to also, especially the Leo, tend to have a bigger top half and smaller bottom half. But either way, that is what is attractive about you. Your figure will be strong. It will probably look athletic regardless of your size. You look like you can do sport. Even if you don't do anything, you probably retain your muscle quite well. And you're just basically good, fun and attractive. You're different from most people. And you're open and you're warm. And that's nice. So there you go. Pile number 5. Thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe. I don't know what it is. Please subscribe. Please follow. I don't know what else. It's like, please vote. It's stupid, isn't it? And share this with anybody who might be interested. They might be interested to see why they are so hubba hubba. Until next time, goodbye.